children's dream jobs, movie star and professional athlete were ranked in the 5th and 6th spots, with another highly sought after career being one spot above them, and that career is a musician. For many popular athletes and actors, despite their jobs
Chad, did you guys ever want to be a musician?
It isn't enough. They too want to be musicians. So some of them try, and it doesn't always end up working out so well. And because of that, for this video, I've gathered 5 celebrities that attempted a music career and failed. And we're going to be looking at
Wait, Robert Downey Jr. had a music career?
Why these celebrities never experienced
Kim Kardashian
success. Starting off with Robert Downey Jr. So Robert Downey Jr. began his acting career doing theater roles in the early 80s, and his career started to pick up in the late 80s. He got his first lead role in the film The Pickup Artist in 1987 and continued growing as an actor. While his acting career was taking off, he was also very interested in music. He even made a bunch of demos in the late 80s, and he actually went to a Sting concert and tried to give his demos to Sting, who hesitantly took the tape and never listened to it.
I accosted him in like the stairwell, and I started trying to push my cassette tape in his hand. It was a psychotic move.
You were stalkerish.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you wanted to get your music heard by Sting.
Only.
Yes,
because he would understand.
Right.
I'd be opening for him in 2 weeks.
He had more successful films throughout the 90s, such as Chaplin, which got him a nomination
Sherlock
for
Holmes
Best
is one of my
Actor
favorite
in the
movies
Academy Awards, although he eventually lost. He was pretty successful, but at the same time, he was battling a drug addiction that he'd been struggling with ever since he was a kid. His dad was a drug addict who allowed him to smoke weed since he was 6 years old, which led to some severe drug issues as he got older. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Robert was arrested multiple times for drug-related charges. He also got a role in the show Ally McBeal. However, he was fired shortly after due to his issues with the law. But while he was in the series, he performed 2 songs for the soundtrack. However, those were the only 2 songs that the public ever expected to hear from RDJ, since no one knew about his secret interest in music or his demo tape. He continued to spend many years either on parole or
I don't even recognize him there.
in jail, which caused a major setback in his acting career. As he was working to recover from his drug abuse and revive his career, he found himself with a lot of free time. Since he had all this time on his hands and he still was interested in music, he decided to start working on an album. In 2004, he released his first and last album, The Futurist. It was a 10-track album with 8 original songs and 2 covers. And RDJ also played piano on multiple songs throughout the album. The Futurist debuted at 121 on the Billboard 200, and it sold 16,000 copies, which isn't terrible, but it also wasn't very great for a well-known actor. However, looking back, he was and still is actually a great singer. Honestly, I don't think anyone on this list really even made bad music. They just weren't really commercially successful for a variety of other reasons. One of the songs on his album was featured on the radio, and he even played a few shows. But in 2006, he said he would probably never do another album since the first one didn't go.
Alright, let me look it up. Sounds like church music.
This is a night I've been dreaming of forever. The mirror takes a look at my face. I'll never set foot in that rat hole again, but I'll drive to your place. A spit ground.
It sounds like him singing, like he's like, but like recording, like he's like in a movie, being like a douchey singer.
Funny enough, about 25 years after trying to give his
so like something that'd be in Tropic Thunder,
they eventually became good friends. And Sting's wife told RDJ that she found the cassette that had the demos on it in a box, and thankfully for him, it was never played. RDJ even performed with Sting during Sting's 60th birthday concert in 2011. And RDJ's album was even referenced in Captain America: Civil War when Hawkeye referred to Tony as the Futurist.
The Futurist, gentlemen! The Futurist is here!
And while what little music Robert Downey Jr. had was pretty well received, Jada Pinkett Smith's music career didn't go over.
Oh, this bitch. Oh, God.
Nearly as well. Jada Pinkett Smith is mostly known for her successful acting career.
She's mostly known for how much she hates her husband.
Talk show and her drama-packed relationship with Will Smith. But she also started a music career in 2002, and surprisingly, the genre of music that she made was metal. She said that when she was a kid, she listened to all types of metal like Metallica and Guns N' Roses, and she was surprised that there weren't many girls making that type of music. Jada began her acting career in the 90s and married Will Smith in 97, which may have been what inspired her to pursue her musical passions. In 2002, she created the band Wicked Wisdom, which was a new metal band. They released their debut album in 2004 called band Wicked Wisdom, which was a new metal band. They released...
I'm sorry, but the way she's posted up like that does not look metal at all. It looks like your mom like trying to take pictures to your favorite metal band to send to you.
It's their debut album in 2004 called My Story, and they opened for Britney Spears on her Onyx tour. They continued to play their own shows, and they were eventually spotted by Ozzy Osbourne's wife, who invited them to play at Ozfest in 2005. Festival goers were extremely upset about this because they didn't think that Wicked Wisdom was real metal. When they performed, the crowd was booing at them, yelling at them, and flipping them off. Willow Smith, Jada's daughter, admitted in an interview that her mom faced racism, sexism, and death threats because of this festival. She said that the people in the crowd would even throw glass at Jada and shout racial slurs. But the band did admit that after 7 shows, the people in the crowd started to come around to Wicked Wisdom because they could tell how serious they were. However, Jada did admit that the criticism had her rethinking her musical endeavors. Apparently, even Will asked Jada if she wanted to do R&B instead of metal, but she said her love is for metal music. But her and Wicked Wisdom persevered, releasing their second self-titled album in 2006. Will Smith even executive produced the album. The album also peaked at 44 on the Billboard Top Heatseekers chart, but other than that, I'm not sure how much commercial success the album had, especially since after the release of that album, the group entirely stopped releasing music together. It may have been the criticism, or maybe Jada got busy with acting, but not much has been heard from the band since. In the early 2010s, there was speculation of an album being released and a name change to Wicked Evolution, but nothing ever came of that. To this day,
there's no such thing as Wicked Wisdom on Spotify by Jada Pinkett Smith. Might have to check YouTube for this one. Try Wicked Evolution. Nope. Wait, what was the first one called again? Wicked Wisdom? Evanescence, what? When I say mom, put on Evanescence, she's like, we got Evanescence at home. Maybe they were booing because it sucked.
The band remains inactive and none of their music is on streaming services. But honestly, despite all the hate they got, I don't think their music was that bad. For example, the song Stuck had some really cool guitar riffs, and I don't think Jada's vocals were that bad either.
This one might be better. This one's much better.
However, in general, their music was not well received at all, and just a simple scroll.
No, that one was better. The last song we listened to, chat, that was really bad. Like, the pitch was bad. Like, it honestly sounded like the production team failed her on the first one.
Through Reddit will tell you how much people did not like their music. And even though Wicked Wisdom never had much success, Eddie Murphy had a huge hit before he eventually gave up and stopped releasing music. Eddie Murphy came into the game in 1976 doing stand-up comedy and began his acting career in the 80s. He got really popular pretty quick, taking over both the comedy and acting scenes. So Eddie set his eyes on another target, the music industry.
It was 12 years
He'd always had a huge interest in music and says he's been writing songs since he was 19. Before releasing releasing any of his own music, he released a couple comedy albums with compilations of his best bits, and he also released some comedy songs. Eddie had also done a little bit of professional work with his background vocals being used by the Busboys. However, his first debut single was the song Party All the Time, which was a smash hit and his biggest song to date. The song was produced by Rick James and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's even featured in GTA 5. Party All the Time was featured on Eddie's Certified Gold
That's an Eddie Murphy song?
debut album, How Could It Be? He started off his...
What is that song? Party... Eddie Murphy? What song is it? Damn. I like that one.
Music career with a bang, and he decided to keep releasing music. But unfortunately, it would only be downhill from there. In 1989, he released the album So Happy, and other than the single Put Your Mouth on Me, there wasn't really anything special about this album. It wasn't very well received, and it didn't sell too many copies, but Eddie kept pushing and released his third and last album, Love's Alright, in 1993.
I remember when you're like a millionaire and you've acted, you can release albums, and like that's sick just to say you've released an album, like a musical album that's produced well because he's got enough money to produce it, you know, decently saying, like, just to say you have an album, sick.
Again, this album
like
didn't perform well and wasn't received too well, despite even having a feature from the king of pop himself. Eddie Murphy and Michael Jackson were good friends, and MJ featured on Eddie's song, What's Up With You. Honestly, I don't think too many people like this song. It had a really goofy music video, and the writing was pretty poor. An article
that seems like a real song
from cheatsheet.com even said, not even a duet with Michael Jackson could bolster Murphy's music career. But Eddie responded to the criticism by saying, there's not a lot of people who have footage of themselves dancing around in the clouds with Michael Jackson. I do have that forever. After that album, though, Eddie stopped releasing music. For a long time, people weren't sure why Eddie stopped releasing music. They figured it was either because of the criticism, because people weren't taking him seriously, or a mix of the two. Even though he stopped releasing music, though, he said that he still regularly makes songs because he's so passionate about music. He said in one interview, if I never sell another record, I'll still write 2 or 3 songs a week. And he said in another interview, 100 years from now, when I'm gone,
he wasn't taken seriously. Yeah, he was a comedian all along.
All these tracks, and they'll be like, wow, we didn't even know this guy. We had no idea. Eddie also sang a lot in his films, like in the movie Dreamgirls in 2006.
Trying to be a serious musician. I love the movie. I feel like once you get so famous in a certain role, it's hard for you to transition, for people to see you as other stuff. And even though you're like a good musician, even if you are, they'll still see you as like that comedian first. What? Vamp?
Where he played a singer with some great vocal performances. But Eddie randomly decided to return to music in 2013 when he released a single almost 20 years after his last album. He's released a total of 3 songs since his last album. He also claimed in 2013 that he was going to release an album called 9 and eventually start a band and go on tour. However, that never happened. But he finally revealed why he stopped releasing music in 2019.
Chat, let's make a band.
He said, whatever muscle I use to be funny, I have a muscle to do music, and I use them both all the time. I've never stopped doing music, but I stopped putting it out though, because the audience gets weirded out by it, and I don't want to be that guy. So unfortunately, it seems like the criticism and the negative reception is the reason why he stopped releasing music, which is unfortunate because it seems like it was one of his major passions. Honestly, I don't think any of his songs were that bad. From what I listened to, he actually has a pretty decent voice. Like his song with Snoop Dogg is really good. So I hope that he puts out some more music.
His song with Snoop Dogg.
Eddie Murphy was a funny guy with a serious music.
His recent movie, you should check it out. They're incredible. And I have it.
Kim Kardashian was a serious girl.
Kim Kardashian had music? Oh, I know it's gonna be bad.
With a funny music career. Kim Kardashian is, as Wikipedia describes, an American socialite, media personality, and businesswoman. But she's probably most known for her show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which ran
that's what she's most known for.
From 2007 to 2021. She then began modeling and started other business ventures, furthering her popularity. Her and her sister Courtney began filming for their new reality show spinoff, and it was while filming for that series that she met the producer, The Dream. Apparently, The Dream reached out to her and thought they should make a song after he heard her sing at the Emmys.
Dream actually reached out to me.
I'll have to look at it, Turk.
Yeah, about something. what? Maybe you recording a song or something like that.
Are you serious?
In that clip, Kim kind of made it sound like he reached out to her and she just thought it would be fun to make a song. However, the Dream said that Kim reached out to him, and if that is the case, it could be a sign that Kim actually wanted to try a serious music career. So him and Kim worked together to start writing a song. Apparently she was nervous to do it, but she talked to some of her musical friends such as Kanye, and they encouraged her to do it. So she made the song and premiered it at a party on New Year's Eve of 2010. She also tweeted that same night that
that's crazy.
she was going to try some new things in 2011 and tease some sneak peeks, which made it seem like she was intending to release more music. However, unfortunately for Kim, critics hated this song and they tore it apart, with one of them saying she was the worst singer in the reality TV universe, and another describing her voice as sounding as if they are emanating from a baby that is either very bored or very drugged. It's kind of mean, but I honestly do agree with the critics because her song wasn't really that good. I think Kim might be the only person on this list that I don't think made decent music. The song didn't do well commercially, and it didn't even make the charts. And since the release of the song, she's expressed on multiple occasions that it's one of her biggest regrets.
That's one of your biggest regrets, Kim? You sure?
Said it's the one thing from your past you wish.
Yeah, it's the one. I mean, it's definitely a memory, and it was a fun experience. But if there's one thing in life that I wish I didn't do, like what gave me the right to think I could be a singer?
Kim has said since the release of the song that it was just for fun, and they also donated some of the proceeds to charity. A lot of people have speculated that she actually wanted to have a serious music career, but after the song flopped, she decided
to you'd have to say it. We were all thinking it.
But regardless, because of how much she says she regrets the song, I think that qualifies as a failed music career. And while Kim Kardashian claims she was making music for the fun of it, Kobe Bryant had a huge passion for hip-hop and had been making it since he was a kid. Kobe grew up with a huge passion for hip-hop, and he would freestyle with his friends at school, and he would even do some pen tapping beats for the others that were rapping. One of his friends, Kevin Sanchez, aka Sandman, was the one who really taught Kobe how to rap. In high school, he created a rap group with some of his friends called Chisaw, which apparently was an acronym. I don't think they ever disclosed what the acronym stood for because they thought it was corny. His group did shows together and would rap all the time everywhere. They are very passionate about the music. Of course, as Kobe was rapping with his group, he was still very talented at basketball, and he joined the NBA in 1996. Meanwhile, his friend and fellow rapper Sandman was accused of armed robbery, even though he was mistaken for another man, and he spent about 6 years in prison. The rest of the group, however, ended up signing to Sony in 1999 after some label executives heard Kobe rapping one night in a studio session. However, as I'm sure you could guess, the label was focusing primarily on Kobe, hoping that he could somehow become a basketball and a rap star. They started working on an album with the intentions of it being a Kobe album featuring Chisaw. The label also wanted to shift Kobe's sound to a more radio-friendly pop sound rather than the battle rap style that he loved. Kobe released his first single, KOBE, in January of 2000 and performed it at All-Star Weekend that month, but the song wasn't very well received. Rather than the style Kobe wanted, like I said, it was more of a radio-friendly sound, with critics calling Kobe a novelty rap act. Kobe went back to the studio and began making the style of music he wanted to make. However, Sony dropped him because of how poorly his first song went, and his album Visions was scrapped. Later that year, Kobe started his own label called Heads High Entertainment, but unfortunately it went under after less than a year. And while Kobe continued with the Lakers and his successful basketball career, the rest of his group was unfortunately not as successful. But just recently in 2021, his album actually leaked onto the internet. The album even had features from artists like 50 Cent, Black Thought, Nas, and Destiny's Child. It also featured fellow Chisaw member Brody Boy, who was actually pretty good at rapping. And Kobe's ability to rap wasn't actually too bad. Of course, he could have used a little bit of work.
Is the album out?
But there was a lot of potential. I can confidently blame Sony for trying to change his style rather than letting him keep the style that he wanted, because that style fit him so much better, and I think he could have been a lot more successful with it. They also shouldn't have tried to sideline his group, as they were pretty good, but overall it seems like an unfortunate ending to a promising career. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite artist from this list was, and any other celebrities that tried to make music but failed. Other than that, though, this is Matty Balls. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see
a lot of influencers and YouTubers for sure have tried to go down that route of like making music and, you know, not working out.